Hello students, today we are going to discuss about the chapter 12 of class 8 science, that is sound. Students, chapter 12 sound is in your FA4 syllabus and it is very important chapter. So let's discuss about this chapter. After sight, in our previous video we have discussed about the human eye that help us to see the objects clearly, and after sight sound is most important among our senses. It keeps us informed about our surroundings. We hear sounds from various sources like moving vehicles, television, music system, machines, musical instrument, and so on. So we know that just like a light is a form of energy, sound is also a form of energy, and it produces a sensation of hearing in our eyes. We talk and communicate with each other by producing sound. Birds, insects, and animals are also capable of producing sound. And in this chapter, we are going to learn how sound is produced, how do we hear sound, why are some sounds louder than the other, and how does sound travel from one place to another. So let's discuss about the sound. Sound is a form of energy which produces a sensation of hearing in our ears. So, sound is produced by a vibrating body. Vibration, we know that it is a to and fro or back and forth motion of an object. For example, if you strike a school bell, it vibrates and it produces sound. If you pluck a stretched rubber band, it vibrates and produces sound. If you beat a drum, its stretched membrane vibrate and it produces sound. And if you blow a bugle, the air column vibrates and it produces sound. In our daily life, we came across many musical instruments and we play musical instrument to produce a pleasant sound. Now let's see which part of the instrument vibrates to produce the sound. Depending upon the ways the air vibrate in musical instrument, they are of different type. For example, there are some stringed instrument, wind instrument, percussion instruments, reed instrument, and ghanavadya. For example, veena, sitar, and violin. Veena, sitar, and violin, they are the stringed instrument. In a stringed instrument, music is produced by vibrating a string. So, for guitar, veena, sitar, violin, they are the example of the stringed musical instrument. And when the string are plucked or struck or played with a bow, they vibrate to produce a musical sound. And these instruments also have a hollow air chamber which help to increase the loudness of the sound produced. Similarly, tabla, mridangam, and drum, they are the percussion instruments means they have a vibrating skin or membrane that produce sound on vibration. Drum, tabla, dholak, mridangam are some example of percussion instrument. On the other hand, Shehnai, flute, and mouth organ, they are the wind instrument. These instruments are generally made in the form of pipes, and when we blow air into them, the column of air inside vibrate, producing a note, and they produces sound. Some musical instruments also produce sound when they are beaten or struck. For example, bell, ghatam, manjira, and jaltarang. They are also there. Now, what is vibration? We are talking about vibration. When an object vibrates, it starts producing vibration. So, vibration is a rapid back and forth movement of a body about its mean position, and this vibration is the main cause of the sound. Now let's understand how sound is produced by a vibrating body. When we fix two nail on a wooden board and fix a and tie a rubber band between the two ends of the nails as shown in the figure. Now try to stretch the rubber band and then leave it. You will observe that the rubber band vibrates and produces sound. Now stop the vibration of the rubber band. You will find out that no sound is produced. So we can conclude it from this activity that sound is produced by a vibrating body. Sound requires medium to propagate. We can also understand this with the help of activities. Sound travels through solid, liquids, and gases. We have just learned that sound is produced by a vibrating body. So, the substance or matter through which sound is transmitted is called a medium. And the medium can be solid, liquid, or gases. Sound does not travel in vacuum, means where there is no air. The medium, when a school bell is ring, the solid bell vibrates and produces sound. The sound travels through air and finally reaches our ear. So sound moves through a medium from its source to the listener. Now let's discuss how sound can travel through solids. So to understand this activity, we need demonstration, we need an alarm clock, a wooden table. Now you have to place an alarm clock at one end of the wooden table and stand at the other end of the table. Now try to hear the ticking of the alarm clock. Close the doors and windows of your room so that the noise must be cut. Now place your ear on the table and listen. You will observe that the ticking of the alarm clock sounds louder when heard through the wood. And we can conclude it from this activity that sound travels through solids. Also, sound travels faster through a solid medium than through a gaseous medium. You know that sound can also travel through liquids. Now let's understand it again with the help of the activity. To perform this activity, you need a squeaky toy. Squeaky means a toy that produces sound when pressed. A plastic bag, a thread, a bucket, and some water. Take a squeaky toy and put it inside a plastic bag. Now tie the mouth of the bag with a thread. Fill the bucket with water and place the plastic bag containing squeaky toy in the water. Now squeeze the toy inside the bucket. You hear a low sound. Now put your ear just touching the water level in the bucket and squeeze the toy again. You hear the louder sound. You can conclude it from this activity that sound travels through liquids, but sound travels faster through a liquid medium than in a gaseous medium. But sound cannot move through a vacuum. Vacuum means where there is no air, sound cannot move. Sound is a form of energy and it is produced by a vibrating body. And the vibrating body transferred its energy to the neighboring molecule in the medium, which in turn pass on their energy to other molecule. So sound requires a medium to travel. Now let's discuss how sound is produced by human. To understand this, first of all, put your hand firmly on your throat and sing "Oh." You feel the vibration in your throat. If we sing low or high, we can feel the difference in the vibration in our throat. We have a voice box in the throat region and the sound is produced by the voice box or the larynx, which is also known as Adam apple. It is also known as Adam apple, which is present. This is our larynx. It is present at the upper end of the windpipe. Voice box, larynx or Adam apple is present at the upper end of the windpipe, and two ligaments called the vocal cord. These are the vocal cord. Vocal cords are stretched across the voice box or larynx in such a way that it leaves a narrow slit or a narrow gap between them for the passage of air. When the lungs force air through the slit, then the vocal cord vibrates, and when vocal cord vibrates, it results in the production of sound. These vocal cords are attached to the muscles that can make the cord tight or loose. Means when the vocal cord are tight and thin, the sound is of higher pitch or frequency. On the other hand, when the cords are loose or thick, the sound is of low pitch or frequency. We have generally noticed that very man have longer chords than the women's. That is why the frequency of the sound of women and children is higher than the frequency of sound produced by men. Other birds, other animals, they also have a sound producing organ in their body. For example, birds, they have a syrinx in place of a, instead of a, this is a syrinx. Instead of a vocal cords, birds have a syrinx. Syrinx is generally defined as a ring of cartilage. Ring of cartilage that is present in their windpipe, and they use their syrinx to produce the sound. This characteristic sound is a jarring or unpleasant one in case of birds like the crow, but it is pleasant and soothing one in case of birds like quail, parrot, myna, and cuckoo. For example, other animals like frogs, they produce sound. They produce a croaking sound by puffing their vocal sac. These are the vocal sacs of the frogs. And when they croak, the vocal sacs puff up, they get inflated just like a balloon, and they produce a sound. But other insects like mosquitoes and bees, they make their characteristic sound by vibrating their wings. Their wings vibrate and they produce their sounds. And the more rapid the vibration of their wings, the higher is the pitch of the sound produced by them. It's all about the sound produced by the animals, and rest of the topic we will discuss in our next video. There is a home assignment for you. Watch the video and find the answer of the following questions. Thank you.